What's up, fam, and welcome to another episode of This Connected. And we're doing this episode here at St. Edward's Retreat Center. We've been here before, but this time around, there's one person that I really wanted to talk to from a long time ago because I could not pronounce her name. And I probably still can't pronounce her name, but we're going to give it a try. And the reason why we're here is we're going to talk about missions and why young people go on these missions and where they go from here. And on this episode, we have Geneviève.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Because I used to say Geneviève. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You know, we haven't been podcasting for a while because, Arnell's been on a journey to try to find really great content. But, and so this is really great content because one of our friends who's going to be here is going to be like doing this mission, and you're like teaching her, so that's really awesome. But welcome, Geneviève, and we actually just want to hear about you. And there's that guy, there's always the guy behind, and so pan over there and give him a look, and so yeah, that's our friend. So Geneviève, I was so interested from when we talked with Gavin and you, and you guys were talking about the retreat center, but we never really got to talk about why literally you ended up here and why you remained, because the call to be a missionary usually is about a year, maybe two, but you spent quite a number of time here.
Yeah.
And so in that, I want to hear why, who you are, how long you've been here, and then where you're going from here. So first, tell us about who you are.
Yeah, a little bit about myself. I'm 21. I'll be 22 in this November, and born and raised within the Roman Catholic Church. So proud Catholic. Come from a big family. Lived in Pasadena my whole life, so not too far from home, which has been really nice. But the mission work here has become a lot more prominent within the last, I'd say, 5 to 6 years of my life, just since finishing high school, and gone through a lot of struggles in my faith and a lot of doubts, and as I'm sure as many people do, but I've really just made it my own and learned to love and serve the Lord in all the little things and the big things too, but especially the little things. So
I want to ask, why here? Why in the middle of the woods? Why not people go on mission, they go on mission trips and they go like to Peru or to like Asia or things like that. Why choose the middle of the woods in the Los Angeles National Forest? Why here?
So it's funny you mentioned the mission trips in Peru and all over the world. That's actually where I was first interested in looking at missionary work, and it was about 2 years after I had finished high school. And I was working and helping support my family, but kind of realized there was a little bit more that I needed to do. And so I'd met somebody who served on net ministry. So that was my first, I think, kind of ounce of interest and exposure to ministry work like this, and looked into it a little bit. I actually applied and was hoping to do it for about a year, and then got deferred a year. So that didn't work out. And so then I kept looking into things like Africa mission trips, things like that. So I knew that there was more ways to serve people than just serving my family at home, and just in the ways that I had been serving my community, which was helping with gardening, nannying, things like that. And thankfully, in the 2 years after high school, that's when I got to learn that there is joy in serving. So I'd been graced with that, but wanted more. So I came up here for the first time summer of 2022, I believe, and came up here not for this retreat center. I came up here with a pro-life organization helping run that week program. We educate teens in the pro-life industry and the truths of what abortion is and the value of human life. So I was here and exposed to a beautiful place. So it was only an hour away from home, and immediately fell in love, felt the power and presence of the Holy Spirit here within the people, within the trees, the life, everything that was here. And something was just drawing me back. the family that owns this place, the Len family, then presented to me and a bunch of our staff. We run a summer camp and we'd like your help. And I'd never done summer camp before, but I took the chance, went for it, came back 2 weeks later, and just fell even more in love with this place. So after that week experience here, serving as a camp counselor, I realized that there was more that I wanted to do here. I didn't know what it was. It wasn't clear to me what I wanted to do, but something about this place was calling me in. And so I reached out, asked if there was any way I could help in the fall. They said, oh, not really, but we'll stay in touch. The following spring, we're training for the summer, and we're, going over just all the stuff about camp for our counselors. And at the end of this training session, they mentioned they're going around to all the teenagers and everything saying, hey, we're starting a missionary program in the fall. Like, would you be interested? Would you be interested? Would you be interested? And I just so happened to stick around a little bit longer. And when they came to me, it was the clearest yes of my life. Immediately in that moment, I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. Like, it's mission work. I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but I know the place and I know that there's something that's been calling me back. Didn't know who I was going to be with, didn't know how many people. And, the missionary program was started because of Gavin and his initial desire for missionary work. But so it was just really a desire to serve just in a new way, in a new experience that I wasn't familiar with.
So sometimes our listeners have that question of young people who go on mission are trying to escape from something. Was that something from you? Were you trying to escape from something or walk away from something? That's why you went to mission work? Or is it like, why leave behind your entire life, not just for 1 year, not for 2 years, but 3 years, right?
Almost 3 years.
Almost
yeah.
3 years. Like, was it something you were walking away from, or, because for me, it was hard enough to go away to college for 4 years,
right?
Let alone go and just serve. So, what was that thing? What was that? Because I think a lot of young people, and even people who are older, are wondering, it's like, wow, can I really give my life to God for 3 years? And then what? It's like, was it something? It's like, was it drawing? Was it something that was like not fulfilling? Were you moving away from something, or what was it?
So initially, as I mentioned, I applied for Net Ministries. When I had applied for Net Ministries and I was looking into that, it was more of a sense of running away. I'd finished high school and was just working at home a lot and helping my family out, and most of the time just found it to be tedious, didn't really enjoy it, and was not necessarily just fulfilled, but I didn't feel happy being at home and serving my family in the way that I was, and felt that I was being taken for granted. And so the moment that I received an email of being deferred saying that we don't think you're ready, we need you to wait a year before you can reapply, hit me, and it was a really bittersweet moment of, okay, I'm really relieved now that I'm not going to be saying yes to this 9-month program of being states away from my family, but also kind of sad because it was something that I was desiring, but it was the wrong, I think, motion towards it. So that moment of being deferred ended up starting the year of growth, where that's when I finally learned, like, oh, there's actually so much joy in serving my family and through the simple things, and making dinner, doing the dishes, grocery runs, things like that, laundry, whatever it was. But I hadn't had that when I first was looking into missionary work. And so I think that's what the Lord's no was for me. It was like, no, I need you to learn the gift of serving first. So then when I said yes to this place, it wasn't a moment of, okay, I need to get away from my family. It was like, my family is going to be okay without me. I am ready to move forward. I'm ready to grow even more and say yes to what the Lord wants me to do.
It's amazing how the Lord gives us that time for clarity.
Yeah.
Of asking us, come follow me, but are you following me because you desire to follow me? Or are you following me because you want to leave something behind? And that's a beautiful testimony in of itself, of that clarity that God gave you, that the Holy Spirit gave you. So now that you're here, what was the best thing about this place that kept you staying?
I think it was the first year I came in here. So we just started a brand new missionary program. It was me and two other gentlemen. It was Gavin and another man named Kevin.
Kevin and Kevin.
Gavin and Kevin. Never got easier. But it was the sense of community that we had because we had Heath and Paige, who have been here since day one of this retreat center being purchased by the Lund family. But we had an all new staff besides that. And so we were in a space of figuring it out. We had to really work together. And I think it was really that sense of community and family within such a small space. And even though we get retreatants that come up here all the time, it's, always new people. You're not going to see the same people every single time. But that really, I think that feeling of being in a home away from home is what kept me here. And, I said yes to 9 months and didn't realize I was actually saying yes to almost 3 years of living here and being away from my family. And it was really just the feeling of working together.
The family.
Yeah, the family.
So you developed your own fam right here.
Yeah.
In this community, serving the children of God.
Mm-hmm. And even as people came and went, the staff that we have here now, it's pretty much the same thing. It's all new staff, and me, Heath, and Paige are now the ones who've been here the longest and are showing people the ropes, and yet it still feels like a family.
The times that we've done retreats here, and every time that you guys give the orientation, it's always you guys had this smile that was so engaging, and I think it allows the teens who've never been out in the woods to feel comfortable because of the genuine smile and joy in people's faces. And I always look at that, and it's like they have that genuine smile, that joy that's in their face. And each one of you guys, the ones we met, Gavin and Kevin, and you guys were just appeared to be joyful. And I think that's engaging, and it allowed me and allowed the young kids, the youth, to put their guard down and be comfortable. So the moment, so the reason why I ask that is, of the many teens that the retreatants who come through here, do they come back and say, hey, remember me? And so what is the one thing, one of the most memorable times that's, the impact that you've had on that person? They come back and says, hey, you know what you said or what you did or that moments when I came that really impacted me. It's like, have you felt that you've impacted lives of young people that come through here?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could share every story that I have. One funny moment is Julie actually came back for a retreat last spring, fall, whenever it was.
We don't know do we know Julia? Julia? Do we know Julia? Wait, do I know a Julia? It's like, is she that Julia from St. Oscar Romero?
Yes, she is.
I think I know her.
Yes. But she had come back in the summer after I met her for the first time, and she came back, served as counselor. The following retreat season, she came back to help with the retreat again, and my mind blanked. I saw her and I was like, I know this girl looks familiar, and I couldn't remember, and I introduced myself again to her, and it was awkward but turned into a very funny moment of just connection. It's like, oh, I do remember, and she came back. And but I have had a lot of very good encounters with students either coming back in the summer or coming back the next year. They came on the retreat the first year, and the second year they've come back, and now they're helping lead that retreat. And I remember them coming up to me and saying, like, hey, do you remember me from last year? Or I remember you. And it's hard to remember every single person's face, but there's a lot of them that I do remember and can recall. And I didn't actually give my testimony or share personally with many groups. It was mostly just serving meals and doing the orientation and things like that, and little engagements here and there. But
hold on. Yeah, we know that guy.
Love him. There's so many examples I could think of. There's another counselor. She came up in the summer. She's been up here enough times, and we run a specific program during the summer where we kind of mentor one-on-one with kids as they go through this program. And so I've mentored her a couple times, and her sharing with me in those moments is going back to when she first met me, when she first came up here, my first year up here, when I probably felt so awkward and uncomfortable and, not sure what I was doing. But she said, your just example and your work like really spoke to me and brought me back here. And it's something that, I don't think of when I first meet somebody. Like, I never think of like, oh, how are they going to come back because of me? But, those amazing encounters do, even a year or two later, it's just like, hey, I'm back here because of you, because of what you shared, or because of your witness simply. So,
Yeah, I call that unintentional intentionality. It's like, oh, I didn't know they touched that person. It was so unintentional because you were intentional in those moments with that person, and every single person that you encounter is intentional, bringing Christ to them. And literally, I probably say to every single person who's encountered you is that they see Christ in you. And so that's a beautiful thing that I can say, that I see Christ in you, in your actions, and the way that you move, and the way that you interact with people. It's very rare. It shouldn't be, but it is in the world today. So now that you've done here, and you're like, okay, I've spent almost 3 years here. Where are you going now, and why are you going now?
oh boy. So big things are happening. I'm going to go back a little bit to the beginning to just give some more context. The first year in the fall of my missionary program, I started dating a young man. His name is Ryan, and met him actually up here at the summer camp in my second year, second summer of being here. So we got connected and we started dating that fall, and have been dating ever since. I can't say too much, but safe to say things are going very well. And in a very good direction. And so I feel as though I've served my time here very well, and I feel very fulfilled and satisfied, and ready to pass it off into the next pair of hands that is going to work here and serve the people here. But I feel now as though I'm being called to move far. I am planning on moving to Montana, Bozeman, Montana in January 2026, so in about 3 months. 3 or 4 months, I'll be moving out there. I'll be, end of this month, I'll be back in Pasadena for a little bit, working, and then I will make my move to Bozeman.
Montana.
I've been able to visit quite a few times now, and not only is my boyfriend out there the person I desire to pursue this relationship further with, but it's such a beautiful state, and specifically the area of Bozeman. Montana State University is located out there, and there's an amazing parish that's connected to it, and it seems like there's a good opportunity to join a new community. So it's been a desire on my heart to move to another state for many years now, but there's never been such a big push as this.
This is about you, and wow, at your age, making these big moves, is that scary?
Terrifying. I can't lie. It's very terrifying, but also really exciting. Very exciting. It feels as though I have no idea what I'm doing, and yet I have so much trust in the Lord that it's going to work out exactly as He wants it to, and whatever He wants, I want. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you are taking that to your advantage. That you're trusting in the Lord, then He has a plan for you, and that you're open to the Holy Spirit guiding you through that. You're going to be always in my prayers. I'll be so jealous. I mean, those kind of things that when you guys talk about that, when young people talk about that, you allow people who are seasoned, older like me, live vicariously through you. So I would hope that when you do these things, I would say vlog it, I would say write about it, I would say post it, because in your work, in the way that you witness, and today in the new evangelization, people see that and they get empowered by your actions. We actually get to see God's working through you in the images that you post. And I know not everything is perfect, and everyone's putting out the most perfect pictures. Don't do that. Show even the bad things that's happened, because we actually get to live through that. with you. And so I'm hoping that you do that. You know, and if you need equipment, I have a whole bunch at home, but a whole bunch of mics and cameras we're not using anymore. But yeah, so is there anything that you would say to young people and even parents who watch this of to them of when their child wants to follow in your footsteps and do this journey in mission work, and they're like, no, you should be going to college because there's a plan for you and it's to get that 4-year degree and get out to the workforce. What would your advice be to those parents and even those youth who might be considering this calling?
Well, it's hard to say what advice I'd give to the parents. I have to say I'm very blessed with the parents that I have. I actually, so fun fact, I haven't attended college. I would have graduated this past spring if I had. And I dropped out halfway through my senior year of high school. So technically didn't graduate, technically don't have my diploma, although I was on the right course and had all the credits for it. That being said, my parents were the ones who suggested that I dropped out of high school. Them bringing it to me first, I was unsure. Then I was sure about it, then they were unsure. And so it took a lot of moments of trust. Not only trust from them trusting in me, but myself trusting in the Lord that like, okay, this seems really unconventional. You know, people don't just drop out of high school when they're about to graduate in their senior year. But I didn't know what was going to happen. I had ideas for plans and went with it. My parents just supported me through it, and I guess that would be my advice to parents is just support them. If they seem sure about it, if you know that they've prayed about it, if you know that they're putting it in the Lord's hands, then just trust the kid like you're trusting the Lord.
Listen.
Yeah, listen to them, because if they're in tune and they're, you know, settled in their faith in such a way where they're uniting themselves with the Lord, then ultimately whatever they're desiring, whatever they're pursuing is going to be the Lord's will for them. And so it's scary, but trust.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. It's not, you know, it's not the same path that everybody's going to take. Nobody's going to take the same path and end up in the same position. But my parents never pushed for college. They would ask me, you know, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I would tell them what I want, what I didn't want. And I think as much as they wanted to be hands-on and have me do it a certain way, they really just let me figure it out for myself. And in that figuring it out for myself, this is my advice to kids, is you're going to make as many plans as you want. You're going to be told no over and over and over again, you know, whether it's about a job, whether it's about school, moving away, doing a mission trip, you're going to be told no again and again and again. When you receive that no, don't get discouraged. That no builds up and allows for the biggest yes of your life, for the greatest yes of your life. And eventually you'll be met with a moment of, I think, the most beautiful amount of clarity that this is what the Lord wants me to do. As long as you take those no's with grace and trust that it's not, you know, the world telling you no, or you telling you no, or your parents telling you no. It's really the Lord saying, no, I have something better in mind. Not saying, no, I don't want you to do that because I don't love you, but rather, no, I don't want you to do this. Either I don't want you to do it right now. No, I don't want you to do this at all because there's something better. Or no, just wait. So his no isn't really a no. It's him saying, I have something better in mind. So don't take that no as anger or being shut down, but see it as a new opportunity.
Those are such wise words, you know, and I could say as a parent, those are terrifying words.
Yeah.
But as a parent, as a former son of a mom who was very much desiring something that was great for me, those are great words to hear. Because I think what I got from that was that what you're saying is, to anyone who's listening, trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord, and things will figure it out on the way. on the journey. And so you are literally on that journey. And I can't wait to see, to be that fly on the wall on your journey. And I hope that you do share it with us, because what an amazing journey. I'm so excited for you, Geneviève, for this journey of your life. It begins, this starts, and every journey has a beginning and an end, and then we start another journey. And you said that, you're moving out to Montana, so it's really far away. So maybe one day me and Julia and some of the other people will be on your footsteps, saying, hey, let's go hike, and look for bears. Or maybe just try to be safe. So you got the equipment, and we're going to be there. I'm telling you.
Please.
So on that note, I want to thank you for being so vulnerable, for being so open, and for sharing your mission, which continues here. But literally, what you're saying, for this podcast, which is entitled Thisconnected, what you just said totally connects. And I'm hoping that that connects with a lot of the people who are listening. So again, thank you. And may the Lord continue to bless you and keep you in all the days.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So fam, thank you for listening. And thank you for Julia for being our awkward camera person. We haven't done this in a while, so if you have comments or want to contact us, just send us an email at catholic.dad.com. No, see, catholic.dad50@gmail.com. That's our email, or just comment on this episode. If you want to support the program, just go on our bio and you can find out how you can support us through Patreon. So on that, as we always say, we end this: live a life of holiness, be blessed, and be better. See you in the next episode. Bye, Julie. Bye, Julie. Turn around. What? You're rolling? You're recording the... Oh, okay. Well, you gotta tell us action. So now? So this is the podcast of cringy podcast and awkward moments. So actually, 3, 2, 1.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Was for the last one.